What is up, party people?
Welcome back.
Welcome. It's the Prognosticators, and we're here. We're back, y'all. Jess, how's it going, man?
It's going great, man. I'm really excited. I've been having a great spring.
Nice.
When you told me that you wanted to call me in for a draft special, that really piqued my interest. I'm looking forward to a nice IPA, my friend.
Oh, we're talking about the NFL draft, not draft beer.
So when you said wear your Giants shirt if you had one, I'm baseball Giants, and that was...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm in vacation mode a little bit, but
Okay, yeah.
I bet I can catch up.
Me too, man. It's been a really crazy offseason. We've got a lot to talk about. But first, we're going to break down the draft, okay? We're talking about the draft. They drafted who? Because I got a lot about that. That's where we talk about the teams that we love and the players that they drafted, and we give our analysis and our draft grades. Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, anybody?
That's right. And just for you folks out there who might not be a fan of the coastal teams, we'll hit some spots in the middle of the country for you.
Yeah, in between.
We'll get in there.
In between. So let's start off with the number 2 overall draft pick, Joey, Mr. Delete My Tweets, Bosa. His brother. Nick, Mr. Delete My Tweets, Bosa, going second defensive end to the San Francisco 49ers. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. You know, it's funny that you call him Joey right off the bat because out of everyone in this draft, he is the defensive end who has probably the best name recognition. On the name recognition analytics score, I think he got a 12.9, and he was only beat by Josh Allen, who had a 13.1, and that's just because a guy named Josh Allen was drafted just last year.
Nice.
So if we're talking name recognition, this guy is going to get off to a fast start.
Hey, everybody's going to know his name. And he's also probably one of the better pass rushers in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, he's projected to be a Pro Bowler his rookie year. He's projected to have 10 sacks. So we've really beefed up the defensive line and the pass rushing in general. And when you have that going, of course, that creates a domino effect through your whole defense. Mm-hmm. The cornerbacks don't have to work so hard. They don't have to be as good. The linebacking group, same thing there. So it buttresses your whole defense, and it puts pressure on any quarterback you're facing, which is always a good thing.
Buttress.
You like that?
I love it. And so I'm seeing like it's a good pick because the division is getting really good. Seattle just gave Russell Wilson a ton of money. Mm-hmm. We saw what the Rams did, although we saw what they didn't do in the Super Bowl. But they should be back coming along. And the Cardinals are going to be the Cardinals. But Kyler Murray, number 1 overall pick, is going to be scooting around. You're going to need somebody to chase him down. I'm impressed with what you guys did on the offensive end. You picked up Deebo Samuel out of South Carolina.
Right.
He's a real Deebo. And you picked up Jalen Hurd, wide receiver out of Baylor, to give Jimmy Garoppolo or Nick Mullins or whoever's the quarterback much more weapons.
A lot more weapons, and those two complement each other too. Debo's more of a speed guy, precision runner. Hurd, big guy, red zone threat. He's going to go up and get those contested balls. So they're going to complement each other in that way. One thing a lot of people don't know about Deebo Samuel, there's a lot of measurements, right, in the draft, of course, and in the combine. Mm-hmm. He had one of the best toe measurements that you're going to find. He was on his toe length rating, I believe he was a 25.4, which puts him in the neighborhood of guys like Dante Pettis, also a 49er. Jerry Rice, I believe, was a 13.5 toe rating. You don't want it too long of a toe because you're going to suffer on leverage there. Mm-hmm. And if you get that short toe, you're not going to get that burst when you need it.
Gotcha.
So perfect toe length. Going to be outstanding.
Nice. Now, do they take into account toenails when they do that?
What you want to do is have your toenails at just the right length so that they can get traction in those cleats and in that sock. Gotcha. Now, this guy is known across the league all throughout his college career, immaculate toenail length.
Okay.
So this guy's toenail, he's got elite level toe rating.
He's going to San Francisco, where I'm sure they have a ton of salons and spas that can take care of his toes perfectly.
A lot of pedicures going on. So yeah, he landed in the right spot. Yeah. It's great. It's a great fit.
Speaking of toes, we're going to put a toe up the butt and talk about the Giants and their draft picks. Okay, we're just going to get it out of the way. First overall pick for the Giants, number 6, Daniel Jones, quarterback out of Duke. People are talking about the reach. Mm-hmm. And, man, this is like a reach, pull, desperation. I don't know. I'm not happy with it. And I had a buddy who was texting me earlier. He's like, look, I looked at the guy's tape. He's fast enough. He's got an arm, not the strongest arm, but an arm. He's accurate enough. A lot of drop passes from the Duke receivers and stuff. That's true. But still, he is not a winner. He has to prove it to me. I'm not on board with this. Because let's just say this. Play for Duke. Even if they play Clemson, okay? You lose to Clemson, that's a national championship team. They're great. But his numbers were pedestrian. I would have felt better if he was throwing for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 65% completion percentage, and still lost the game at Clemson because it's Clemson. But he didn't do that. There's nothing that inspires me about this kid.
Not very inspiring at all. And of course, one of the things a lot of people are talking about is getting blown out by Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Now, you don't hear too much about the Wake Forest D. They didn't have, 3 first-round picks come off the board. So that lack of production against a team like that could have just been a bad day, but it could be emblematic of more problems to come. And I think at the very least, like you said, it's a reach. You don't want to take a risk like this on a guy for your 6th-round pick that you could easily get, I don't know, much farther down the line, maybe even in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
So a lot of frustration. Having said that, you don't know. No one knows.
We'll be able to grade this draft properly in about 3 years after these guys have been through the cycle and we can see how they're playing, which players are actually working. Because the other picks, Dexter Lawrence, defensive tackle out of Clemson, I love him. DeAndre Baker, cornerback out of Georgia, has not allowed a coverage touchdown in 2 years. Absolutely amazing. I just love all the picks. We had one guy, Corey Ballantyne, got shot, and his buddy got killed. And rest in peace, and our condolences out to his teammates, his friends, his family. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Here's a life-changing moment for a young man and his friends and what have you. And once again, more violence is kind of creeping into the fray.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. People say, you hear things like, well, football players do violence. They're surrounded by violence. They live violent lives. But no one should have this coming, especially when, you're looking at a situation like this where your whole life is potentially about to change. It's really unfortunate. One of the 49ers draft picks, Dre Greenlaw, linebacker, really cool story, just kind of coincidentally. He was at a party when he was a freshman, and a gal had something put in her drink, or so the story goes. This is pretty reliable. Gal had something put in her drink, and a guy that no one had ever seen before was basically shuffling her out the door. He stopped them, and he said, she's not going anywhere.
All right.
So, these guys, they have a lot of different mixed backgrounds. They're dealing with a lot of different kind of people, and when you are ascending to fame and fortune, you're gonna bring along some crummy elements as well as the good elements. So there's good and bad stories on all sides of these, and there is a huge human element, and that's something that keeps us fascinated in football for sure.
Exactly does. We'll be right back with more. We're going to talk about new rules and new changes in free agency in football.
Later.
Welcome back to the Prognosticators Draft Special. Yes, we talk about the NFL draft, what we think our teams in the league are going, and we talk about the new stuff, like the new, which is going on right now. New rule changes, new players on new teams, new coaches, all the things. Let's first start with the rule change. Jesse, did you know that you can now challenge pass interference?
That's pretty exciting. I think that's great. A lot of people are detracting from this, saying, well, it's going to slow the game down. Do we need more of this litigious blah-blah-blah messing with the flow? The thing is, you still only get 2 challenges, right?
Yep.
So you still only get 2 challenges, and you're not going to take a risk because if you're wrong, you don't get that second challenge. So I think it's just fine. I think it's important to expand what is reviewable, what is challengeable, as long as you maintain that limit that kind of governs how often or how frequently coaches are going to be pulling these flags.
I agree. Had this rule been in place last season, we would have had a different Super Bowl, everybody.
Absolutely.
A much different Super Bowl. So I think it's going to require the coaches to be discerning about when they throw the flags and what have you. It's also might eliminate the entire let me just heave the ball 50 yards down the field, hopefully get a pass interference play when they're going to review that.
Good, yeah, as it should.
Happen.
I mean, as technology evolves and develops, we're watching the games in a much different way than we used to. Refs are held to a different standard because we at home can see things that they can't. And the technology has been passed on to them too. And I think ultimately that's a good thing because, there's people out there that want to take the win regardless of how they do it. But personally, and I'm not just saying this to, show how great I am or how ethical I am. I'm not trying to virtue signal here. I just generally don't like winning the game on a crummy call. I don't like it. It doesn't feel as good.
No, it doesn't. I agree. I totally agree with you. Now, let's talk about free agency. A lot of teams got some new players. Most notably, Antonio Brown, AB, is playing with the Oakland Raiders, who I believe scored in the draft. I thought they had a great draft with all the picks they had.
It'd be hard not to, right? I mean, A, they've got Mike Mayock running the show. He ought to bring some knowledge to the table. B, they just had so much wealth and draft capital, especially in those early rounds. You got to be hitting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting in Oakland. We'll see. Is this their last year in Oakland?
This is their last year in Oakland.
Okay.
They'll be moving to Vegas after.
Yeah, which, whatever, that's fine. But it'll be interesting to see if they can actually make some noise. Of course, that's a great division, and Patrick Mahomes is going to have something to say about anyone who thinks they're going to come up in that division. But yeah, fascinating to see AB in there with that new group, and John Gruden, see if he can get anything done with Derek Carr for one more year.
Yeah.
Good receivers make you look better. I mean, what would Ben Roethlisberger have looked like this whole time without AB on his side?
That's the truth. That's the truth. And I think if Carr doesn't get it done, they trade him, use that draft capital to pick somebody, Tua Tagovailoa, or who knows.
There you go.
So other ones, Le'Veon Bell going to the Jets, which Friday was here to talk about it. Going to the Jets. I think that's a big one. The Jets seem to get some weapons around their young quarterback, Sam Darnold.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. What Le'Veon Bell brings to you is not just someone who's going to rush. He's a check down, but he's a plus check down. You're going to throw him a 2-yard slant over the side or just check down in the flat, and he's going to bust it open, maybe for a touchdown occasionally, at least for a first down quite frequently. So that's going to take the pressure off Sam Darnold in a lot of those situations. It's going to make his numbers better, going to make him more confident, just give him another target to go to. And, we'll see what happens here. One interesting thing, just because I tend to not look favorably upon, I don't know exactly what my problem is. Maybe I'm too much of a capitalist or an elitist or something. But I didn't look too favorably upon the way Le'Veon Bell handled his business, and it's his business to handle. But one interesting thing that I've been hearing a lot lately is even though you take that year off, you get that 1 year fewer of traction or tread on your tires, you are more frequently injured or more frequently prone to injury when you take that year off and then you come back into that football, because nothing is going to prepare you for that. No amount of squats, burpees, CrossFit, it's not going to get you ready for getting slammed for 4 months.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see if he holds up, and if he's the same player that he was, good for them. Good for him.
Hopefully he could stay healthy. We'll see what happens. And staying in the AFC, Earl Thomas going to the Baltimore Ravens, filling in that safety hole. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works out in the AFC North, because you have a AB-less Pittsburgh Steelers, who are giving it up to Juju Smith-Schuster, who is a rising young player. You have James Washington. He was a second-round draft pick for them last year, second or third round, really a beast at wide receiver, who was a little bit disappointing, but how many opportunities were there for him to make something happen? It's going to be interesting to see how that goes, because I think that division goes down, and we're missing the new divas of the division, the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely.
They got Odell. It's like a veritable, you know what it is when you get on Madden and you're like, I'm going to shuffle and change all the teams up.
Yeah.
That's basically what Cleveland has now.
When you can just basically force the trade, I think it's just a toggle switch, and you'd say, accept all trades.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are the good days. And it feels like that's what Cleveland did.
Yes.
They've got Baker Mayfield, who's going to be fired up, energetic as always. He's got a cannon. He's got a football mind, and now he's got some weapons around him. So that should be a fascinating division. Earl Thomas, a guy who did the opposite of what Le'Veon Bell did, right? Played through it, paid the ultimate price, broke his leg horribly. Hopefully he can come back. It's interesting. You never know what you're going to get. You do the thing that I'm suggesting, you get your leg broken. You do the thing that I don't look kindly upon, you get a great contract, and I'm hoping that your leg breaks. Just kidding. I hope that upon no one. I hope they both have great seasons.
I think they will. I think they will. What do you think about the Miami Dolphins trading for Josh Rosen, who was a 10th overall pick last year to the Arizona Cardinals? Obviously, they take Kyler Murray with the number 1 pick, and then Dolphins, who were looking to just ride out with Fitzmagic and get one of these kids, now suddenly they get Josh Rosen, who was a top 10 pick last year. I think it's going to help the Dolphins out.
Absolutely. I love it. You've got a wily old veteran who obviously knows how to win games, and he's going to be there as a source of support for the team and a source of teaching for Josh Rosen, who is not a scrub.
No, he's not.
He was a rookie on a bad team.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great year. I think 11 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
Yeah.
It's not god-awful.
It's not. And he kept getting back up. And that's one thing I noticed. When you have rookie quarterbacks or any quarterback who keeps getting knocked down, and then when they know their offensive line is horrible, when they see the pass rush, their eyes drop, and they're looking at the rush. They're not looking down the field. He kept his eyes down the field. He kept getting up. He never threw anybody under the bus for a kid who's supposed to be arrogant and crazy and whatnot. So I just don't get it. It's crazy.
It didn't show up. And ultimately I think it's a score for the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you get a guy that was drafted 10th.
Yeah.
Just last year.
Yeah.
Or the previous draft.
For a 2nd-round pick this year and a 5th-round pick next year. I think they may have found their quarterback of the future. We'll see what's going on. A whole bunch of other free agency mess. But next, we're going to see how well we would do on the Wonderlic test. Right
Yikes.
after this.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, man.
Swim like a swim with the fishes.
You know what? Next question. No more questions.
They rise and they fly. And that's what we're gonna do. So just you stay tuned, because these dirty birds are coming for you.
Welcome back to the Prognosticators here at our draft special. That's Jesse. I'm Khalil. We're just holding it down for you guys. Okay, so we know the draft, they get measured. We were talking about toe measurements and everything else, and like nose hair follicles, how long they are. Because if you have too long of nose hair follicles, you can't get the required oxygen into your system to explode and make that extra, 5 yards in a quick amount of time.
Right.
So it's all of the measurements are very important.
It all matters. I mean, look at Peyton Manning. Historically wide forehead. Very cerebral.
Yes.
They're measuring all these things.
All these things. They're talking about cerebral. There's the famous Wonderlic test, where the players get together. It's kind of like an IQ test, an aptitude test to see what type of decisions you make and how quickly can you make these efficient decisions. So we've got some questions here that I'm going to pose out to you, Jesse. We're going to see. We're going to Wonderlic you, okay?
Let's see if I can do better than Kyler Murray at least.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Here we go. Which of the 3 following words have similar meanings?
Okay.
Rapidly, A, rapidly, B, exceedingly, C, hastily, D, eventually, and E, swiftly.
ACE.
Yes, A-C-E. They all are adverbs meaning quickly.
That's right.
Good job.
Thank you. That was
All right.
quick, too.
That was fast. Quarterback. Okay, next up. In the following set of words, which word is different from the others? A, inflation. B, interest. C, debt. D, budget. E, drought.
Gotta go with E, right?
Yes.
Crazy? Okay.
It's the correct answer because the rest have to deal with financial things, and E is kind of amorphous. It can mean drought like it's super dry or a drought like not abundant at the time. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, here's a math one. Mathing.
Good, because I was an English major, so I felt like those first 2 were skewed a little bit.
Okay, word. I got
Now we're
you.
going to expose me.
Okay, here we go. Just like we do if you let somebody from the blind side. Jade is 9 years older than Rose.
Okay.
In 4 years' time, Jade will be double Rose's age. What are their ages today?
She's 9 years older than Rose now. In 4 years, she'll be. Oh no. I can't believe this is happening. Let's see. Let's just say Jade is 20 and Rose is 11. In 4 years, she'll be 24. That's 15. Oh God, is there? Let's just go with. Let's go with.
Oh, I didn't give you the answer. I didn't give you the options. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I just said that. Okay, forward. Okay, so A, I forgot. I'm wonderlicking it badly. Okay, A, Jade is 5 years old and Rose is 14 years old.
Okay.
B, Jade is 14 years old and Rose is 5 years old. C, Jade is 2 years old and Rose is 11 years old. D, Jade is 10 years old and Rose is 1 year old. Or E, cannot be determined. Don't forget, Jade is 9 years older than Rose, and in 4 years' time, Jade's age will be double Rose's age.
I'm liking the E on this one. I'm gonna go with an E.
E, cannot be determined. Incorrect.
Oh.
It is B, Jade is 14 years old and Rose is 5 years old. So in 4 years, Jade will be 18 and Rose will be 9.
Yeah, English major.
Gotcha. Okay, here's the next one. We're going to read it all correctly. In the following set of words, back to English,
Yes.
which word is different from the others? A, solemn. B, archaic. C, grave. D, mirthless. Or E, serious.
B, archaic.
Yes! Ding, 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 ding.
All right.
Yes. Good job. Okay, here's another math one.
I'll hit you with some of these too.
Okay, cool.
Let's see what
Well,
you got.
I kind of know the answers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Word, here we go.
Could've looked good.
This is fun. Yeah, I know. I would have been like on it. Like that guy from Jeopardy. You
Oh
see
yeah,
him?
slaying.
Beast. Draft him, Giants, like 6th overall.
Yeah, put the ball in his hand. He can make some reads.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. 17 out of 20 lung diseases are curable. What is the percentage of lung diseases that are curable?
85%.
Yes, C is the answer. And I didn't even get there. Awesome.
Look at the big brains on Brad.
We're good. I've draft them. Okay. Okay, here it is. Affluent, wealthy. The meanings of these words are 1, similar, 2, contradictory, 3, neither similar or contradictory.
I'm going with 1.
Yes, they are the same. Good.
And I'm neither one of those.
Not
So,
yet. Not yet.
Getting there.
Getting there on the way up. Okay, which has the biggest diameter? A, the sun, B, the moon, C, Earth, D, Venus, E, a basketball.
Oh, come on. The sun.
That was really easy.
Wow.
I know. Whoever got that wrong.
Is there like an image of an analog clock and you have to guess, you have to tell what time it is or something?
You know, I hope
this is
not.
getting pretty basic.
Okay, 12. Attraction is the opposite of A, disgust, B, inclination, C, fascination, D, inducement, E, lust.
I'm going to go with disgust.
Yes, this is really easy.
I've always been very good with disgust. I'd like to just mention that.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
My mom was good at that. She would just be like, look at my report card and say, I'm just disgusted.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, cool.
My wife will drop that too. She'll come in and she'll be like, what are you making? I'm like, oh, fish burrito. That's disgusting. I'm like, a fish burrito?
Fish burritos
Why
are
is-
good.
they're good.
With
It's
a
got-
nice little cilantro crema.
There's crema. You got the peppers. Anyway,
Avocado?
not disgusting. Oh, avocado. of
Little
course.
rice.
Not disgusting.
Oh, I might get one. I'm not disgusting at all. That is very gusting.
It's gusting.
It's gusting. Gusting well.
Gusts wonderfully.
That's right. 13. Here we go. A couple more. In the following set of words, which does not belong? A, dentist. B, economist. C, surgeon. D, layman. E, neuropsychologist.
Layman.
Yes.
Layman officially is a person who is not a member of the clergy. Now, it has been expanded colloquially through time
Okay.
to mean someone who's not an expert, but originally it just had that very specific definition. And, you know, football guys love knowing specific definitions about archaic religious terms.
Nice. And the rest of them, dentist, economist, surgeon, and neuropsychologist, are experts.
They're experts, yeah. Not only are they experts, but that's sort of a field. Those are all fields.
Okay.
So there's a football field, and I think that's what they're driving at.
Makes sense. Last one. Deviate and agitate. The meanings of these words are similar, contradictory, or neither similar nor contradictory.
Very subtle, very subtle answer here. They are neither similar nor contradictory.
Ah, yes. Yes. You're the #1 overall draft pick, Jesse.
Thank you so
Because
much.
only one was off, and then the rest of them, and that was kind of read wrong. But we made it happen.
And you know what? I'll tell you, not to make excuses, but give me a paper and a pencil, and I'll get that question about however old someone is almost every time. I just went for the not doable solution because I thought that would have been fun.
Yeah.
And I was totally blanking and choking on television.
That's totally all right. That's what we do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the draft special. We will see you in a few months after OTAs, after mini camps and all that stuff. We'll see you in August as the preseason is wrapping up because we're the Prognosticators, and he is the Prognosticator of the Year, holding bragging rights until next year begins. Thanks for joining us. Peace to Benny, Mav, and Friday. We'll see you all coming up soon.
That's right. Tune in for my sophomore slump.
Nice.
Nosedive.
Nice.
Here it comes.